What's the saddest story you've ever heard? Here's mine. My girlfriend's granddad passed away a couple of months ago. Her grandma is old and has been slowly losing her short-term memory. Needless to say, she was extremely torn up about losing her husband of 60 years. To make matters worse, every morning when she wakes up, she forgets he's dead. She makes him breakfast and takes it into the study. Doesn't find him there, so walks into every room in the house looking for him. Calls up one of her kids to ask where he is. They tell her what happened, and she spends the rest of her day crying like he just died that day.
My mom was threatening divorce, and my dad was very, very depressed over it. For about a week, I went back and forth from the place my mom was staying and my home, where my dad was. I tried to make him feel better, and he kept asking me about my mom, asking me to talk to her, do anything I could to change her mind. I couldn't bring myself to tell him my mom had already made her decision. The night before Father's Day, I was leaving to spend the night with some friends. Before I left, I told him I'll be back early so I could make breakfast for him for Father's Day. He said he'll take a rain check. I didn't think anything of it. I went to a club that night and took some ecstasy. I was at the time also prescribed Adderall and was discreetly taking more than recommended. After an hour of feeling nothing, I began to feel lightheaded and hot. My heart started racing and I could barely think. I begged my friends to take me to the hospital, that something was happening to me. They shrugged it off. Finally, a boy I met that day who was friends with one of my friends drove me back to his house. The whole ride home, I was struggling to regulate my breath and heart rate, fearing for my life. When we got to his house, my body began to calm down, leaving me extremely weak and exhausted. I remember laying on his bed, still terrified of what and still could happen. His dog came up to me, jumped on the couch and curled up next to me, making it so his head propped on my leg, a melancholy look on his face. At about 6 a.m., all my friends were home, and after they begged forgiveness for not caring for me like they should have, I asked to be driven home. On the way, I randomly started tearing up, thinking I'll have to ask my dad to take me to the hospital. Something doesn't feel right. When we got to the house, I went to the door to see a note taped onto it. It basically said, "Don't go in the house and call the police. I'm sorry for being such a coward." My already weakened heart dropped. In shock, I called the police, eyes completely dry, that my dad had killed himself. I sat on the porch and cried. There was a lot of crying that day. My mom wailed when she drove up to the house, crying, "Oh my God, oh my God." I was taken to our neighbor's house and put to bed in the guest room. The rest of the day was spent alone, willing my body to survive. There were moments where I felt like it was going to shut down. I was too weak to cry. After a while, I realized it was Father's Day.